happiest of Halloween listeners, and today for you I have a different episode. So, have you been enjoying Faithfully Yours Mozart? Please let me know below in the comments on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, maybe Podchaser, IMDb. But today for you, I have Faithfully Yours recommends things that if you are enjoying the Faithfully Yours Mozart audiobook series, that you might also enjoy picking up. And these are 3 reads that I have read that are particularly thematically similar to what we have done here and written for the Faithfully Yours Mozart series. So, the first of these, and this is my fall and winter read for this year, is Queen Charlotte by Julia Quinn and Shonda Rhimes. The Bridgerton book is beautiful. I have cried at least twice while reading this book. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful novel, and a beautiful TV show as well, if that's more your thing. Would highly recommend both. If you are particularly a fan of Faithfully Yours Mozart and looking for another historical couple who has been tackled in a way that reimagines their story through the eyes of mental health, I would highly recommend reading Queen Charlotte, or of course watching it on Netflix, although I also believe it is available on DVD for those who don't have Netflix. Would highly recommend that you go and either purchase that, watch that, buy the book, listen to the audiobook, because audiobooks are valid. Says I, the creator of one that is coming out next year in 2026. So, that is the first of these, and the synopsis is, in 1761, on a sunny day in September, a king and queen met for the very first time. They were married within hours. Born a German princess, Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz was beautiful, headstrong, and fiercely intelligent. Not precisely the attributes the British court had been seeking for a spouse for young King George III. But her fire and independence were exactly what she and her king needed. Because George has secrets. Secrets with the potential to shake the very foundations of the monarchy. Thrust into her new role, Charlotte must navigate the intricate politics of the court, with the newly titled Lady Danbury at her side, all while guarding her heart because she is falling in love with the king, even as he pushes her away. Now Charlotte must learn to rule, and to understand that she has been given the power to remake society, fulfilling her destiny as queen, but she also has to fight for the love growing between her and George as people first, royals second, as she says to him, "Fight with me, fight for me." Beautiful novel. I got it for about $10 off of Amazon. I would recommend that you wait for this to be on sale. It can be quite expensive when it is full price, but it often has a price cut. Price cut. Goes on sale often. Would recommend the Queen Charlotte book out of all the Bridgerton books. Plenty of spice, of course. You know Bridgerton, they have the spice. Second on the list for Faithfully Yours reads, and a classic at that, is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. What better book to that is the foundation for why we even have the Regency romance and period dramas that we now do. Queen Charlotte and Bridgerton wouldn't exist, of course, if Jane Austen hadn't come along and written Pride and Prejudice, which was the basis and inspiration for Faithfully Yours Mozart, as well as several other inspirations were seen. So, With its light and bright sparkling dialogue, its romantic denouement, and its lively heroine, Pride and Prejudice is Jane Austen's most perennially popular novel, this love story of Elizabeth Bennet and Fitzwilliam Darcy, who misjudge, then challenge, and change each other, is also a novel about the search for happiness and self-knowledge in a world of strict social rules, where a woman must marry well to survive. And if you are looking for any classic that is phenomenal and clever and smart and well-written and intelligent, because we are in an era where people are have stopped valuing intellectualism, read smart books. Don't be stupid. So, pick up Pride and Prejudice. Read something intelligent. So help me God, please do. Then, of course, in the truest of fashion, our third and final Faithfully Yours recommends would be Marrying Mozart, a novel by Stephanie Cowell. Now, I picked this up in my early days of trying to research Mozart, uncertain of what it was, but Marrying Mozart is a beautifully underrated novel from 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Comes beautifully bound I'm wrong, it's 2004. Beautifully bound in hardcover. It is the prettiest novel I think I've ever picked up. If you liked Little Women, this is sort of the anti-Little Women. Although, as an honorable mention, I will say that Little Women is also on the Faithfully Yours Mozart recommended reads, I shall say, and as a bonus book to add to this list of incredible literature that is similar thematically to Faithfully Yours Mozart, but let's read Marrying Mozart. So, it is Mannheim, 1777. The four Weber sisters are daughters of a musical family, share a crowded, artistic life in a ramshackle house. Their father scrapes by as a music copyist. Their mother keeps a book of prospective suitors hidden in the kitchen. The sisters struggle with these marriage prospects as well as their musical futures until one evening when the 21-year-old Wolfgang Mozart walks into their home and into their lives. No longer a prodigy and struggling to find his own place in the music world, Mozart is enthralled with the Weber sisters. Aloysia's beauty and talent captivate him. Joseph's rich voice inspires him. Sophie becomes his confidant, and Constanza comes to play a surprising role in his life. 18th century Europe comes alive with unforgiving winters and yawning princes, scheming parents, and the enduring passions of young talent. Set in Mannheim, Munich, Salzburg, and Vienna, Marrying Mozart is the richly textured love story of a remarkable historical figure and four young women who engaged his passion, his music, and his heart. Now, Marrying Mozart is one of the rare Mozart pieces of literature that actually features all four Weber sisters and heavily features the love story of Aloysia and Wolfgang, as most romantic Mozart stories do. Although Constanza does play a role in this, unlike Faithfully Yours Mozart, where she has more of a leading role for the first time in all forms of literature where she has ever been present, if at all. It's a very different novel. It's a very 2004 novel, let's put it like that. But it's not a bad read by any means necessary. Of the novels that I have in front of me, between Pride and Prejudice, Queen Charlotte, and Marrying Mozart, it is very much up there thematically, with some of the similar themes that you'll find. It's very, it reminds me of, it feels like a screenplay at some point. I'm amazed that this wasn't adapted into a movie, given the success of it. It's a beautiful historical romance. It's an obscure one that I don't think too many people know about or talk about, but I would recommend it. Stephanie Cowell did a beautiful job of capturing this time period. And like I said, as my shout out and bonus, recommend Little Women by Louisa May Alcott as well. Is also quite similar thematically to what I'm trying to achieve with Faithfully Yours Mozart. So that is all for today. Oh, I should little updates. So down below you will see a link to my author's website. And you can, if you so desire, click and check it out, and you will be able to listen to the podcast on the website. So, podcast is now on my author's website. Of course, there has been made an update so that people know, that any merch not transparently nor explicitly stated by me. There's a link to the official merch site, which is Redbubble. The scammer seller situation is still going on, but that's happening. So that is it really for today. Podcast is now on the website. You can listen to it there if you don't have access to Spotify, to YouTube, to iHeart Podcasts, to Good Pods, to Apple Podcasts, to Heavens to Betsy's knows where it's at. But I am more than certain that a lot of these things are very accessible for a majority of people. So, that's it. Updates today. We have made it onto the top 100 rankings. We are number 5 for of our top 100 podcasts on Good Pods. So thank you for that to whoever is boosting, our rankings and boosting the listenership. You are much appreciated. So this has been Faith Jacobs, and this is Faithfully Yours Recommended Reads, Queen Charlotte, Pride and Prejudice, and Marrying Mozart. Now, where can you get these things as I close? Of course, you can find Pride and Prejudice or Queen Charlotte most easily in any bookstore that you have, whether that's Amazon or Barnes & Noble or maybe your local library. Marrying Mozart I only found on Amazon. I don't know if it's a 2004 book. It might not be available in Barnes & Noble but I've gone looking. It's almost a very rare book. It feels. Like I said, it's a very obscure novel, is Marrying Mozart. But, however, if you'd like to find it, you can find Marrying Mozart on Amazon. And it is, again, it's a beautiful, beautiful novel. Would recommend. Highly recommended. So, without further ado, I am Faith Jacobs, signing off, and be on the lookout for the Faithfully Yours Mozart audiobook coming 2026 to Spotify for authors. And of course, the 4-year anniversary edition's winter cover variants are coming December 9th and January 27th. I will see you all on the flip side. Take care and stay kind. Also warm, because it's winter.